Hey guys, just thought I'd give you an Amazon FBA update. Sorry for my voice, I'm a little bit under the weather. I mean, I'm not sick, it's just this freaking hot, cold here in Florida is killing everybody. Anyway, I think I'm pretty much done with FBA as far as books goes. I'm not going to source any more books. It's just, for me, it's not worth it. I've been using Scout IQ, using the standard triggers for that, and I'm just not getting the results that I want. And nothing to do with Scan IQ. The program works great, but I'm just wondering if the profit's a little off or what. But anyway, so I've listed about 300 or 400 books. A lot of good ones, I've sold some good ones, with, some in the $40 profit range. But here's where I'm at. I've sold almost 70 books. My account is up to $150, and my take home after a month, like what I can actually take out, is $56. I've had a few returns, no description given, just returns. Don't want the book. It could be, it's been long enough that some of them may have read the book and returned it. So it's not a condition issue. I lowball condition just to be safe. I'm the cheapest price, always for FBA, with a few exceptions. There's a couple books that are, a little more valuable that I don't want to give away. And I've actually sold a couple of those. But basically, after a month, I've made $56 and probably $500 or $600 into this. When you count the scanner and the software, the Amazon professional whatever account. Anyway, so that's not even counting my time. I'm not just, I actually own another business that is, I make good money on. So this was, I thought this would be a fun thing to just do on the side, because I enjoy arbitrage. I've been doing it on eBay for, 15 years. It's a lot of fun for me, finding, flipping, so I thought this would be another awesome thing to do, but it's really just not. I think I don't know about you. I think I missed the boat. Kind of like Bitcoin, some people got in at $1, some people got in at $12,000. I think we're probably at the $10,000 mark, as far as where we're getting into book sales. And it could be too that, I don't know if Amazon raised their fees or whatever, but I'm just not making that much on a book. Really. I don't know how many you'd have to sell. I'd have to sell 100,000 books a year to maybe scrape a living by. And I wouldn't even know where to source that many books. So, the other thing is too, Amazon sucks as far as when you send your books in. I've sent 5 shipments in. My first one, I don't remember the numbers, but my first one, they lost 1 book. And I was like, whatever, I can deal with that. It was 1 out of 45. The second one, 1 out of 48. The second one I sent in 45 books. They lost 7. That's completed with the investigation, whatever. And one of them was a big-ass Dean and DeLuca cookbook, like a big, giant book. Like, how do you lose that? So, and I've taken it to seller support, whatever, but they lost 7 out of 45. What in the hell, guys? So, granted, I didn't pay much for the books, but a lot of those books would have turned me a good profit and made up for some of the other lesser books in that batch. So now I've got a batch that I sent in that is missing some freaking really good books. that I'd have made some, at least made up for something. Every shipment so far, and I'm meticulous. My other job is accuracy central, because it can cost me tens of thousands of dollars if I screw up. So it's not like I'm just throwing books in a box and going. I'm meticulous, checking them off, shoehorning them in there, making sure everything's in there. Plus I have a pretty good memory. I know what went in there. Plus, if it wasn't in there, it would be on my kitchen table. So, it's kind of like, come on, guys. So, for me, it's just not worth it. It's way too much time. My time is way too valuable to be screwing around with this, dealing with lost books and returns and, stupid low profit margins, and no thanks. So I think I got a freaking ton of books behind me, probably 100. I think I'm probably just going to send those in. I may process those today, and that's going to be it. Maybe I'll make something off of them. There's nothing else I can do with them. If I don't send them in, what am I going to do? Have a yard sale and make nothing? So funny thing is, I've actually made more on eBay selling books than I have on Amazon, because a lot of the books that aren't good on Amazon, you can put on eBay and make a few bucks. So if you're spending 50 cents for a book, on eBay you sell it for 3 or 4. That's a profit margin I'll take. People pay for shipping. Sometimes I make a little on shipping too. That's not my goal, but sometimes I do. So like this book, this 40 studies that change psychology. In Scout IQ, it's like a $40 profit. It's a pretty rare book, and people need it for high school and college classes. So, and it's whatever. I picked it up in a thrift store for 50 cents. Well, I go to list it on eBay, or I go to list it on Amazon, and it's restricted. There's tons of them on there, but I guess the discrepancy between what Amazon wants to sell them for, which is high, and what people are buy boxing them at is really low. Kind of like the eFlip thing I talked about. A lot of the eFlip books are restricted. You can buy them all day long. You just can't relist them. I don't know if Amazon's trying to straighten some pricing issues out, or some discrepancies, some disparities. But this was one of them, so I stuck it on eBay and sold it for $40. So, whatever. That's just the way it goes. So I think, it is what it is. If you have a lot of time and you have nothing better to do, and you have a lot of money and don't need to make a return on investment right away, which makes no sense. But if you're that person, book arbitrage might be good for you. But for me, this batch of books behind me is the last one. I probably might do some more FBA with other products. But if they're losing 7 books out of 45, what happens if they lose 7 Nikes out of 45? Or 7 expensive toys out of 45? That could potentially blow your profit for that shipment. So no way. I don't know. That whatever is going on in Amazon needs to be straightened out, because it's not good. I've sent in 5 shipments and meticulously made sure everything was in there every single time, and there's been books missing every single time. So it tells me that it's a circus over at Amazon. So some of the bigger people probably don't even care. 5% book loss is like no big deal, whatever. Well, for me, that's not the case. For me, it's more than 10% on some of the shipments. So, anyway, let me know if you have any similar experiences. But as far as I can tell, the time to sell books on Amazon was 1 or 2 years ago. Now is not the time. And I know a lot of people are watching older videos, getting excited, watching some of the more established people. Well, they got established when it was a good time to get in, you know, because you need capital to keep going in this, and you're not going to make enough capital to keep going, not with expenses. If you're using Scout IQ and some of the, you know, use the scanner, you need the ruler printer, you know, I mean, there's a lot of stuff you need to successfully do this. So anyway, whatever, man. It was fun. I mean, I had a good time. I was really hoping it was going to work out, but I'm not going to waste my time anymore. You know, maybe in the future I can figure out a better way to do it, but right now I just don't have the time or the patience or, you know, the tolerance for the low profits and the returns. Oh my God, the returns. Amazon just returns stuff for no reason, you know, like, anyway, whatever. All right, well, let me know your experiences. I'm interested to hear if anybody else fell into any of this. But anyway, have a good day, guys. Happy Monday.